proof that black and white can work together, as long as we get paid.
My God, man. Do you know what this means? This ghetto's gonna be turned upside down, I tell you, upside down. If you get on his bad side, brother, you're done for. Now, it's only a matter of time before he finds out, and when he does, no matter where he is, get ready, gentlemen, because hell's a-coming, hell's a-coming, hell's a-coming, hell's a-coming, hell's a-coming.
You think you're the best? I hope you are. A Gundam mobile suit is a fully articulated, fully equipped machine, armed with the most sophisticated weaponry known to man. To be a complete Gundam pilot, you must train on both Gundam systems. Believe me, gentlemen, to beat the best, you have to be the best.
Hey, this is Stephanie Shea, and you're listening to Gundam at MAHQ.
Where's Sumire?
She went home.
She said she only came here to see that you were all right.
Damn, the babe's leaving already! You didn't tell her anything about me, did you?
Let's see, I think I mentioned that you're so behind that you needed to take summer classes or else you'd fail out. And of course I let her know that you had severe diarrhea last night. You got a problem with that?
Alright everybody, welcome back to Gundam at MAHQ, the first Gundam of 2023. Holy crap. I mean, what year did Gundam start? 2007. Holy man. Year 15, yes. I don't what do you get for your 15th anniversary? Okay.
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes, yes. Wokeness. You get wokeness, right? I mean, that's, come on. So much. But yeah, 2023, man. I know Enron's happy because it was his Bulldogs won again in the College National Championship. Yeah, that was pretty embarrassing. But, well, if you're from Texas, but, hey. yeah. So joining me always is Soulbro and Chris. Guys, say hello. Actually, you know what? You violated the rule of Larry David. It's past January 7th. You're not supposed to say Happy New Year anymore. Yeah. Yeah. Get it? Yeah. Yeah, Larry's got other problems to worry about.
Yeah, Larry was shilling FTX, so he's gotta rethink his life choices.
He's sitting there going, the one time I actually agree to do a sponsorship on something, it turns out to be
Of course.
Like he could have done anything else. He could have just, like Shaq does like Papa John's pizza.
Sober people in the chat are saying they don't
Oh
hear
yeah,
you.
oh yeah, they hear me now. No way to start the new year than to mute your mic. Happy New Year, guys.
You on mute again?
No, I was. I have to unmute myself in two things. I have to unmute myself in Discord, and I have to unmute myself in XSplit. Because if I don't, then people will hear me throughout the pre-show, which they're not supposed to.
Well,
so I'm supposed to go 1-2, but sometimes I just do 1, and so here we are. But they can hear me now, I'm pretty sure.
But you know what? It means it's going to be a good year because Soulbro had his first technical issue.
Yes.
Like a few minutes into the show. So
It's like the Groundhog Day when the groundhog sees his shadow. That's right.
Yeah. When we have a few episodes in the first part of the year with no technical issues, then we should be worried because there could be a man in the can lurking.
Oh boy!
But no, I think we will have a technology snafu free 2023. So thank you, Chris. How's things going? 2023. Another year running MAHQ. I mean, you must be excited or just a functioning alcoholic at this point.
Nice.
How's wait, did I hear something?
Think MAHQ has the best culture?
Whoa,
Nice,
Dennis, that's you.
Allegedly.
Dennis, man. They put you in Trigun. He's uncredited, but you're in the new Trigun, Dennis. There's Millie. Millie, the young insurance lady she's a news reporter now, and she's teamed up with the veteran. What is it? A veteran journalist. Looks just like Dennis, man. And he's an alcoholic. Sips out of a flask. That's like he's got the mustache and everything. I swear to God. Anybody in the chat who saw Trigun and didn't think of Dennis, you must be tripping. But that cat is. I'll try to bring up a picture of him real quick. But yes, there's a journalist dude in Trigun Stampede that looks and acts just like Dennis. It's amazing. I hope they get Dennis a voice. I hope so.
Or do you have a brother? I mean, what
I
is
didn't
that?
agree to any use of my likeness.
Where's your lawyer, right?
I think I punched him in the face.
So we haven't heard from you in a while, Dennis. What have you been up to? I mean, I know like print media is dead. Earth doesn't have the best culture. I mean, what's going on? I mean, are you okay? I mean,
you ever been in a Zentradi jail? I've seen things.
You've seen things. All right, here we go.
Had things done to me.
Yes.
So you've been in Zentradi jail. What did you do?
You ever been cloned and then split in half just for the hell of it because somebody could?
No. But I guess that's what happened to you.
You don't even know.
So here he is right here. His character's name is Roberto De Niro. If that's not a Dennis alias, I don't know what is.
Yeah. Isn't that your alias that you use when you're quoting sources?
His ghostwriter name.
That's your ghostwriter name, huh? What were you doing? What got you in a Zentradi jail?
Man.
What did you do?
Space porn.
Oh, okay.
Jeez.
I don't even want to know.
That's
rough.
rough.
I don't.
That's
all
rough
right.
stuff.
Look,
Dennis,
I thought that Clan was still an adult even when she was small.
oh my god. Oh my god. All right. Dennis,
Oh.
it's good to hear from you, buddy. Is Chris there, or
Oh.
did you steal his phone again, and are you hiding underneath the house or something? I don't know what the dynamic is there over there anymore. Chris, are you there?
Guys, man, you wouldn't believe it. Like, he stinks even worse than usual.
Yes.
Oh,
He's covered
it's
in
gotta be
like
terrible.
Zentradi prison tattoos.
Nice.
And
Really?
like, yeah, he was butt naked and had a Minmay on his left butt cheek,
God.
and a Sharon Apple on his right butt cheek.
Oh my God. Oh,
And
I'm
he
sorry for
said
you, Chris.
that his butt was Macross City.
Well, then.
Kind of funny, but oh my
Terrible.
God. Sorry. Oh God, Chris. I mean, you moved, right? I mean, he should know where you live now, right? I mean, he must. Did he just
Man
get
has
let?
resources.
He sure does.
Oh. Well, I guess.
Some say too many.
So what is it? He's in Zentradi gang now, right? So you said he had Zentradi prison tattoos. So probably some of those are gang tattoos too.
Probably.
Man. Okay. Well, there you go, folks. Dennis is back, and you probably need to crack a window, right? Or crack a window, probably explode a bottle of Febreze in your house. But
Need a Febreze grenade. Light every candle.
oh God.
Oh,
my
God.
I don't want that visual. But yes. So everyone, welcome to episode 267 of Gundam and MAHQ, and this one, oh man, I know people are gonna love this one because this is, just based on the internet traffic. People just they have their opinions on this show. So we'll be reviewing the first season, episodes 1 through 12 of Mobile Suit Gundam: The Witch from Mercury. So that'll be our only topic tonight for the first of the new year. But I'm sure we'll probably get some traction out of this. I don't know. It could be a short episode. It might be just like, yeah, it's pretty good. But I don't know. I think people have some things to say about this. Somehow I hear the sound of an old bus, I think, in the background. So who
shit.
knows what that might be? Yeah, I don't know.
Those old diesel fumes.
Yeah. Maybe that's the prison bus that dropped off Dennis. Who knows? Guys, anything as I saunter over to the Larry King Memorial News Studio for some Neo's listener submitted news?
I will say this, and this is something that the Wonder pointed out to me. There's apparently a football player that's pretty beloved. His name is Jamal Williams, and he plays for the Detroit Lions. Big ass otaku, man. He's big, but he's also a pretty positive dude, man. I kind of rooting for him, man. I'm kind of rooting for him. He's one of us. He's one of us in the NFL, man. He's
Unfortunately, though, the Detroit Lions were eliminated from the playoffs. So their season's over with.
Damn.
Yeah.
More time to watch anime.
More time.
Yeah. You can catch up.
He wears a Leaf Village headband when he's on the sidelines, and it's like, man, you're a goof, but I love you, dude. I love you. So shout out to Jamal, man. He says, I don't watch TV, man. I watch anime. It's like, god damn, just put it out there in Front Street.
Well, that's
he's wild, man.
Yeah, he's not the only one. There's a lot of these guys.
Yeah, there's a few other ones that I've come across over the last couple of years, but
Mm-hmm.
he's the one that seems to be getting a lot of spotlight nowadays, and I just got exposed to him. So yeah, Jamal Williams, man, that's what's up. And
now I'm gonna, I can go old man here. It's like, I remember when I played sports and I was the only one that did this. Nobody knew about anime.
That's right.
Which was kind of true at some times, but yeah, no, it's good for him. I mean, yeah, but
man.
Yeah, they're eliminated. But you could always go to HBO Max and watch them on Hard Knocks, because they do have like the funniest friggin' coach ever. He's like the biggest, like, when you see this guy, he's such a meathead. It's like there's no other. He is born to be a football coach. Yeah. Like, I mean, just looking at this guy, there's no other career path for him but football coach.
He's made
Like,
for that, huh? It just came out the womb ready
but
to
he's
go.
a good guy. It's funny though because he's like a really good guy, but he's just such a meathead. So, but anything else?
Nah, I'm good, man. Let's get it going.
Oh man, first story of 2023, and this comes from MCT Dread. I know that Chris is probably a little sad about this because I mean, really, I mean, this is gonna hurt you during the holidays, man. This is coming back from December 8th. It looks like the Gundam Thunderbolt manga was going on a 2-month hiatus, so it wasn't going to return till February 24th. I mean, Chris, are you okay? I mean, was your holidays okay, even though you weren't getting any new Gundam Thunderbolt manga?
Somehow I survived.
Oh, okay. Yet I survived. Next one here comes from, oh yeah, this is a big one here. Talks about, it's from MCG Dread. Ichiro Mizuki passed away at 74. This is back in December 12th. Diagnosed with lung cancer. Everybody smokes in Japan.
Man,
it's amazing to me. Yeah, he's the singer, and this is the guy that sang. He sung the Captain Harlock's theme song, right?
Oh,
like he's the original guy. Yeah, he's that guy. So, like, he's been nicknamed the Emperor of Anime Songs. He debuted in 1968 and was a pioneer of the singer of anime songs. He performed theme songs for a wide variety of anime and tokusatsu projects over the years, including Kamen Rider Stronger, Kamen Rider Black, RX, Kamen Rider X, New Kamen Rider, Combatler V, Voltos 3, Voltron, Space Pirate Captain Harlock, and Godnar. Yeah. He also did some of the theme songs from the Mazinger Z franchise. So, wow.
Anybody from that era, I would expect to be putting away like 5 packs a day.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
They smoke like it was healthy.
Like he probably, like, his doctor probably, like, you're going to have to, like, slow down in your smoking. He's like, okay, I'll just go down to 3. Like,
wow.
And I feel like these are the guys that are, like, up until they were, like, told by their doctors, they were, like, smoking unfiltered cigarettes. Like, which probably made them smoke more because the filters was filtering out the taste. So.
Oh. Yeah, he sang some killers, man. He sang some great themes, man. Damn, man. May he rest in peace.
And
man.
once again, this was one of these Japanese guys that just had incredible fashion taste. He had just the most flamboyant lounge singer fashion that's just amazing.
Look at him.
If I was a Japanese guy, this is the way I would dress.
Hell yes.
Like, somehow Japanese guys, especially older Japanese guys, can really get away with rocking like kind of that 70s like style.
Mm-hmm.
Even now, I don't know why. It's like that or just Yakuza wear. Somehow. Well, I guess when you're younger, you can do more Yakuza wear, but when you get older, you got to do this like lounge singer type stuff, which I find freaking awesome. Like, I wish I could pull it off. I can't.
So shout outs to the chat. They say that he was the lead singer of Jam Project as well. Or he found the lead founder, one of the founding members of Jam Project, which makes sense because they'd always get together and belt out these tunes. And man, he will be missed, man. It's
and you know
awesome.
what? Everything is cyclical, and I think eventually, right now, like most all these anime projects, it's all these bands and pop singers and stuff like that. But I feel like there's gonna come a point where they're gonna go back to like just these dudes that do this. Like, that's just their thing. It's like, we're gonna create a song just specifically for this, not just the hottest new pop song to put on there. So, but yeah, big ups to him, man. 74, yeah. But damn, MC Dread was busy. Must have been bored over the holidays. Another one here from Anime News Network. Gundam Battle Operation 2 game now slated for Steam in 2023. Yep, it looks like it's planned to be released. It's going to have its network test on April 15th. Tax day, man.
Oh, wow.
You get your tax rebate. Maybe you can do some network testing.
There you go.
It's been delayed because the game servers experienced heavy traffic and high load. Yeah, that means upgrade your freaking servers, assholes. That's the translation there. Sorry.
Hopefully
Stop
they do.
sheeping out Bandai Namco. It's our favorite type of game too. It's a free-to-play game.
Let's go.
So,
There you go.
There you go. So, Chris, I know you're all up on this. You can't wait till April 15th again. I mean,
Oh yeah.
in case you guys want more additional selling on this is a quote from Bandai Namco Entertainment America. This is how they describe the game. And this is them, not me. Quote, Mobile Suit Gundam Battle Operation 2 builds on the critically acclaimed land-based combat of its predecessor and takes a 6 versus 6 action up a notch with the all-new space-based battles. Infantry battles add a new dimension to the in-game combat, giving pilots the ability to take part in the fight alongside mechas. Wow, nothing better than that. Placing bombs in enemy bases, but wait, what if they disarm the bombs? I guess you could be armor and you disarm the bombs.
Yes,
that are in the enemy bases.
Please make that a bonus stage, please. I'm ready.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
Or requesting support fire to help decide the outcome of the battle. Additionally, customizable mobile suits offer players the opportunity to enhance their favorite mecha through development points earned in battle. Shit, I'm sold. What about you guys?
I don't know, but Robin over in the Twitch chat says the PC beta was a train wreck last time it occurred. Damn. It was that bad.
How could it be a train? How could it be a train wreck with Mecha in it?
Oh man, I'm guessing
train.
Mecha train. I'm guessing it was just bad matching up and connection issues. And he lives in Australia, so the problems compound for him.
Do they have internet there? I mean, come on,
do
it's Australia.
they have internet there?
Isn't their internet upside down?
Robin's watching us through smoke signals. That's what he's doing.
Isn't the signal upside down to them? I don't know. Doesn't it spin counterclockwise? Oh my gosh. So, oh man, the next one here comes from MCT Dread. And oh man, there's more. God, 2023 is already becoming a big year for stuff for Gundam, and I know Chris is just loving this.
Oh.
It looks like they're going to relaunch the Gundam Valpurgis prequel manga miniseries on January 26th this month, man. Yeah. The February issue of Katakawan's Gundam Ace revealed that the Mobile Suit Gundam Valpurgis Eve, the Night Before the Awakening manga is going to be in the magazine's March issue on January 26th, which it's the March issue, but it's being released on January 26th. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's a prequel to the original Mobile Suit Gundam Valpurgis manga. Chris, do you know anything about that manga?
It's really weird, and it's like involving video games and some guy like tied to Sirocco, and apparently someone who claims to be Haman after Haman's already dead. It's really weird.
Wow.
Oh, okay. That sounds like a winner.
That sounds.
So they should just do an anime immediately, right?
You joke.
Episodes.
You joke.
As long as they don't do Crossbone.
Actually, you know what actually do all three of us do if that actually does happen? Like, do we just give up everything? Like at that point, if Crossbone gets its anime that they all wanted,
will fucking delete MAHQ from the internet.
Oh shit!
Delete the whole thing.
Delete the whole thing.
This is all for nothing.
Been in the internet archives.
Life has no meaning anymore.
No.
Oh.
Hey, do you guys want to know something? This post is coming from Ronimus76, but he wants to. Do you know where the world's largest anime robot statue is? And I'll tell you where it's not. It's not in Japan.
Well, if it's not Japan, it's probably China. I'm assuming. That's my guess.
Nope. It is the 5 Force Gronzinger, the the UFO robot Gronzinger, and it's now it's in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, Grandizer? Oh shit!
Grandizer, yeah.
Grandizer's huge in Saudi Arabia. That makes sense.
It's in Riyadh.
Wow.
It's in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Yeah. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
So I guess the Hajj is coming up pretty soon, so you could go and get atonement and then go see Grandizer. Man, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, man.
So its closest contender is the new Gundam in Japan, of course, with the 19. This thing is 33.7 meters, the Grandizer in Saudi Arabia. The next tallest would be the new Gundam in Fukuoka.
Yeah.
And then Tokyo's 19.7 meter Unicorn Gundam. Shanghai's 18.03 meter Freedom Gundam. And Yokohama's original Gundam at 18 meters. And then, of course, Kyoto has Evangelion Unit 1. So.
I had no idea they had an Eva statue. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
That is so cool, man. Looking at the statue, man. Grandizer, man.
Why is everything going to Saudi Arabia? We almost had WWE go there. Now we have Grandizer there. I mean, what else are we going to have there? One of the princes of running Formula One. I mean, come on, what the hell's going on?
The hands are a lot of pots, man. The hands are a lot of pies, man. It is what it is. I saw the list of companies.
They're just following financial advice. Wu-Tang Financial.
Wu-Tang!
Versify your portfolio, bitch.
Yeah, yeah, they actually are. I mean, gotta give it to them. So,
diversify your bonds.
Diversify your bonds.
Oh my god!
Bottom of 76 comes back with he's got a link in the Mecha Talk forum for the Filipino live action remake of Votos 5.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw the trailer for this. It looks amazing.
Yeah, and it stars Radson Flores, Matt Lozano, Rafael Ledicho, Isabel Ortega, and Emil Teneflix. So, what do you guys think, an Oscar? This is foreign language Oscar, right?
It's a TV show, so Emmy, but still.
I mean, whatever.
I'm glad to see that Toei's a part of this. In the making of this, and when it comes to Voltus 5, it was huge in the Philippines. I guess every region had their own anime that was just huge, that blew up, right? So like in Puerto Rico, it's Magazer Z, and with Grandizer in Saudi Arabia, with Voltus 5 in Philippines. For us, it was Voltron. Back in the 80s, it's kind of wild to find out what animes really took off. Oh, Seiya and all of South America. Not a corner of that continent.
Yeah.
That series didn't touch. But
I am still waiting for, and all of Brazil would blow up even more so than it did almost a week ago or a couple days ago. Then if Iron Maiden did like their Interstellar 555 of Saint Seiya, if they did something like that, that entire country would blow up.
Ooh!
Because it's like that country, for some reason, it's like soccer, Saint Seiya, and Iron Maiden. Like, I don't understand any of that, how it connects, but it's kind of awesome. So
I mean, those are all good things to be into.
They're all good things to be into, yes. I mean, I can only watch soccer once every 4 years because other than that, it bores me to death. But yeah, it's like, that definitely cool. And R.I.P. Pele, man.
Yeah, R.I.P. Pele for real, man.
Yeah. So, and the last one here from the submitted articles comes from MCT Dread, and it looks like there's a game. Macross Shooting Insight is the new Macross shoot 'em up coming up on the Nintendo Switch. It looks at the. It was discussed that it's going to be on the Switch, PS4, and PC. There's no exact release date, but it's going to be coming out sometime in 2023 in Japan.
Yeah.
So very few details on the game, but it is described as a novel shoot-up on the official website. So yeah, you guys excited about that? I mean, Macross games usually means excellence, right? I mean,
yeah, well, No, we haven't had a real Macross game in a very long time because for the last couple of years, all they seemed to care about was Uta Macross.
Yeah.
And shoot 'em ups and Macross are pretty closely tied together because one of the earliest Famicom games back in the day was a very terrible Macross shoot 'em up.
Yes.
And there was another one on Super NES. If you emulate Super NES games, you probably have come across Scrambled Valkyrie.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
There was a great 2.5D Daryl shoot 'em up on Saturn and PS1.
I own that one. I used to own that one years ago. I love that game.
We have a long history of games here in this genre, and I hope this game solid. I heard that apparently the press of a button you can switch between horizontal and vertical.
Oh,
It'll be cool. It'll be cool to see how they pull that off.
Yo, nice.
Yeah. Without making you sick.
Man.
So.
I will give a lot of nods to the I want to say it's one of Sega's departments that made I want to say AM2 possibly, but one of Sega's developers made a SDF Macross game as well on the PlayStation 2, and that shit was pretty cool. So and I would probably
AM2.
AM2. There you go. So yeah, that one was fun. But yeah, my favorite is the Do You Remember Love Shoot 'Em Up that was on the PlayStation and Saturn, and yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Why don't they just do the obvious one that we all want, though? The Dennis drinking game.
Yes! Please!
Macross Drink 'em Up. You can play as either Dennis or Roy.
It's
like how many shots can Roy do before he can't really take off in the Valkyrie?
It's shot pong. Shot pong between Dennis and Roy.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which,
Shot Paga is like, it's like, and then the special move if you're Dennis is like, you get like special moves to distract them. It's like, okay, you build up your meter, and it's like, all right, what's your special move? Claudia with a pineapple cake. Pineapple salad. I'm sorry, pineapple salad.
Speaking of ill-fated foods, man, I went out for my wife and I went out for my birthday to Longhorn. And I had some steak.
You had the steak. Kakizaki special?
I had some steak. I didn't finish it, man. I didn't think of it afterwards. I left my steak half finished. I was like, oh, should I pull the Kakizaki? Man, I may not survive the night.
Never leave a steak half finished.
Were you just
what's wrong with you?
Like,
I know.
Were you just driving? Were you driving home and just like looking like super alert? Like, okay, where is it coming from? From behind, from below, from above? Like,
you never know when an exploding Canadian city could just randomly appear behind
Exactly.
That's dangerous, man. Yeah, if you're going out for steak, you always need to finish it. Yeah, you do. I mean, that is like,
it's known.
Yeah, that's like Final Destination shit right there.
I made sure to finish it next day, though. I did finish it. I finished the fight, man. I did what Kakizaki couldn't. But what's even funnier is after I got home,
he was unable to do it.
After I got home, right? I go to my Facebook, and you'll never guess who left me a happy birthday message. Richard Epcar.
Did he really?
Yeah, he's
such a nice guy.
He's such a nice dude, and he said happy birthday, Adam. And it's like, oh man. This is a bad sign. This is a bad sign. I left the unfinished steak, and then the voice actor for the man.
Oh my! That is Final Destination stuff right there.
Oh.
It's like,
don't drive behind any trucks hauling logs.
No, exactly.
Don't stick your hand in any sink.
Exactly.
I gotta stay clear. So shout out to Richard Epcar and his lovely wife for sending me birthday wishes, and everybody who sent me birthday wishes. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you guys. But yeah, I just thought I'd pass that along just so that you guys know.
Gosh.
If I vanish off the map, you'll know why.
You're brushed with death.
How big was the steak, man? Because
it's just a New York strip. I had fasted for 3 days leading up to that, and so I didn't want to push it. I was like, yo, I'm actually pretty full. I had a good salad. Not a pineapple salad though, thank God. But I had a good salad before going into the steak, and it's like, I can save the rest of this for lunch tomorrow or something.
That you would have really been tempting fate if you did unfinished New York strip with pineapple salad. It's like there's no way you make it home on that one.
That is my last meal. That is my last meal.
Yeah.
If I'm on death row, that's what I'm ordering.
Pineapple salad and New York strip.
New York strip or T-bone. Fucking porterhouse.
Yeah, you need that. You need that tomahawk steak, dude. The porterhouse with the bone-in porterhouse. It's
going out big, baby.
Like 56 ounces. I
I'll leave
always remember when they do the steak challenge things. I always think back to that episode of The Simpsons when the dude died and Homer had to like drive his truck.
Yeah.
Oh man, there was a time when The Simpsons was good.
It was a time,
shit.
man.
Yeah. But that's all the submitted articles, and I'm actually surprised that I didn't get the breaking news that came in just right before we started recording. But I will do it. I'll take credit for it. I'm the roaming reporter on this one. And this is coming courtesy of TMZ, and this is Sir Bay News. Yes, it is Sir Bay News, but it's not the Sir Bay's news that we want to hear. He's been charged with killing a pigeon on the Italian set, and he says it did not happen, and I believe him. But I guess something came up when he was filming Six Underground in Italy, and they were using some homing pigeons. And the people that had the pigeons said everything's good. They came back, but I guess a pigeon wandered off, like pigeons do. He got hit by a dolly and died.
Oh no!
So you can't kill animals on sets in Italy. Italy's like really weird. Like if you work on Sunday, like you're like put in prison. Like seriously, you're put in prison. So yeah, since he's the director of the movie, he's the one that's going to be charged on that. Hopefully he doesn't get life. I'm hoping not, because we do need him. Yeah, that's basically it. I'm sure he's going to fight it. Now, if we do find out that, I will say this, if we do find out that he did kill this pigeon, I'm a little disappointed, because hitting it with a dolly, no. Sir Bay, if you're going to kill a pigeon and go to prison, an Italian prison, which is probably just as bad as Entrati prison, I don't know. You should have exploded it. I mean, come on.
There you go.
Go big or go home, Sir Bay.
Yeah.
I mean,
if you got to go to jail, you might as well go with some panache.
Exactly. Think of Scarface. He went with panache. So, but thank you everybody for submitting news articles, and if you ever have any news articles, go to the Neo's listener submitted news articles thread in the Gundam section of the Mecha Talk forum. And now it is time for our discussion and review of episode.
We got a little special arrival. I think Chris might know what's going on. A little bit of unless you're doing it during the review, but
during.
Oh, okay. Well, fix my face.
That was during.
Fix my face. I said nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing of value.
Everyone forget what Silver said.
Yes, please wipe it off the map.
Just think of it as a normal day.
I'll mute my mic for the rest of the show. There you go.
He thinks it's recording Thursday, but to us it's just another Thursday.
Just another Thursday.
Yeah, there you go. But yes, we will be talking about the episodes 1 through 12 of Gundam, Mobile Suit Gundam, Witch from Mercury, or what a lot of people say, Woke from Mercury.
Oh boy!
Or Wokeness That Never Dies, and how did my Gundam? I can't believe my Gundam became woke. So.
Has that really? I have missed the whole dialogue about this shit all the entire run of the show. So I'm interested in hearing what you guys have read about the feedback.
I mean, if you Twitter still lives. I mean, that is an accomplishment.
It does.
We thought before we went on our summer or our holiday hiatus that Twitter may not be around. Oh, and by the way, if people, I just want to say, as the director of social media for MAHQ Productions and an associate with Gundam Films. We do have a Mastodon. I was going to say this on Twitter, but I didn't want to get banned.
Oh.
So, we got that set up. So you would go to @Gundam @Mastodon social. So we have a page on there. So I would encourage everybody to go and set up your own profile and do that. But yeah, I didn't want to put that because I got shadow banned, even though I did talk shit to Elon Musk about my Shiba Inu being cuter than his,
Oh, you
and I
did?
wasn't banned. Yeah, I actually did.
Man.
Yeah, he posted a picture on Christmas about how cute his Shiba Inu is, and I said, sorry, no. So I said, yeah, that. So yeah, I survived, man. I survived.
That's amazing.
There is also an MAHQ page on Mastodon.
Yes.
Yes, there is an MHQ
So it's
page on Mastodon too.
MAHQ on the same instance.
I've only gone through it on the app. It's very similar. It's very normal. You know, it's what we're kind of used to. Right now, it's a lot less. You know, racism, misogyny, toxic masculinity. So, I mean, if you're into not being into that stuff, then it might be a good place for you. I don't know. But yeah, so bro, when you filter through Twitter of all that horrible stuff on there, yeah, there was a discussion on this. Yeah, there was a lot of Chris will go into it. I think he may have something to say about this.
Oh boy, I'm excited.
Yeah. So, hey Chris, you want to give us a quick synopsis of Witch from Mercury? Because
Sure. So we previously talked about the prologue in an earlier episode, so we're not going to cover that ground again. And of course, if you want all of the details, you can go over to MHQ and read my reviews. As of today, I'm fully caught up on season 1, so both with the robots and with the reviews. So we pick up 21 years after the prologue, and this young girl, Soletta Mercury, is on her way to the Astacassia School of Technology to train in their mobile suit academic major. And she rescues a girl named Miorine in space who was trying to escape the school because her dad is Delling Rembrandt, the head of the Benneret group, and the man responsible for the Vanadis incident in the prologue. And he is very anti-Gundam and also very big with the Gendo vibes in terms of his relationship with his daughter.
There you go.
Do you think he's full Gendo or just half Gendo?
I think at the end of the day, he'll be maybe just like half Gendo.
Yeah.
There's a reason for his Gendo-ness that will be less pathetic than I couldn't get over the fact that my wife died, so I made all these creepy teenage clones of her.
No doubt.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. So Soletta ends up spanking this funny boy named Guel Jaturk, who is the current holder at the school in school championships and is also Miorine's fiance. So she ends up dueling him in her mobile suit, the Ariel, and whoops his ass with her bits. It's called a Witch, and her mobile suit a Gundam. Her mom, Prospera, who is a masked woman, is playing all sorts of corporate games, and it's pretty obvious that she's actually Elnora from the prologue and is trying to get revenge. And Soletta keeps racking up more duel victories with Miorine as her fiancé now, and she has trouble adjusting to school because she's so socially awkward, having grown up on Mercury with no other kids. But they eventually befriend some Earthians from the Earth House and kind of start squatting with them. And after a big confrontation where Soletta is publicly called out as a witch, Miorine forms a company called Gundamn that will use Gundam medical technology and try to sell that. Soletta also has some dealings with a creepy dude named Elon Saris, who, as it turns out, is just some dude who had his face changed to impersonate the real guy. And they're all enhanced to pilot Gundams, and every time one of them screws up, they get eliminated, and a new one gets sent in their place, which is totally normal thing. And then number 5 comes along and is a mega creep who scares Soletta. She has a misunderstanding with Mirrorine and starts to think that nobody likes her and nobody wants to rely on her. And this results in her becoming withdrawn when they are on their way to one particular asteroid base to pick up her upgraded Gundam aerial. They got trashed in a duel. Everything goes to shit at said asteroid base because a bunch of terrorists from Earth attack with some brand new Gundams, and Soletta takes out her upgraded aerial and some tomato soup in front of Mirrorine, and Mirrorine's not asked for tomato soup. The end.
Wow, that's quite a quite a synopsis. There.
Shout outs to Campbell's.
Oh,
Shout outs to Andy Warhol.
There you go.
Jeez.
The poppiest of art.
Oh, it popped all right.
Oh, someone got popped. Oh.
And always remember, like Pringles, once you pop, you can't stop.
Boy. Oh man, what a finale!
But so bro,
yes.
What are your thoughts of Witch from Mercury? Witch from Mercury.
Witch from Mercury, man. Man, it got off to a hell of a start, as we talked about in the prologue. But getting into the show, one of the things the show does really well is that it disarms you. You almost forget about the level of violence.
Somebody got disarmed.
Yeah.
Fix my face. It disarms you a little bit into almost forgetting about the level of violence the prologue had going into the main thrust of the show. You get introduced to the setting through Soletta and her interactions with the different students. It's very lighthearted. It's almost got a little bit of a hangout vibe to the show, which I loved, absolutely. Because at the back of my mind, I'm thinking, this all feels like a prequel to what the main thrust of the story is. And this all feels like a prequel to what the main thrust of the story is probably going to be. So I'm just going to sit here and enjoy the ride. I'm not in a hurry to get to like the violence and the action and what comes of Gundam when sitting and watching this. And I like the dynamic between Soletta and a lot of the other students. The character I love the most is her mother, Prospera, or Elnora Samaya. She, to me, has a Count of Monte Cristo vibe to her, and I know that she goes from probably being a very likable, avenging, but what feels to me a rightful antagonist, to someone who's probably going to go way over. I see her being the end villain in this series, to be quite honest, and that's just my speculation. But I see her going over the deep end to get her revenge, and I'm almost afraid of it. But I like her charisma so much. There's a great scene in episode 7 where she actually dresses down Mirrorine about her pride and her, wanted to take a stand against her father, but she's still living in the creature comforts that his status provides her. And it's like, look, if you want to make a difference, if you want to move forward, you're going to have to, check all that hubris you got and put it aside in order to be able to move forward in the right way to advance as a person and hopefully get out of the shadow. And the advice works. She goes to him later on in the episode to get funding for their merger between what's that company? Pale Tech and Prospera's company.
Insane.
Yeah, exactly. And they managed to kind of get get the crowdfunding going for that, and it's a great moment in the series. And then later on, when they are figuring out what their product is going to be, and they decide to go back to the well to what the original designers of the gun format were trying to do, which is to make medical advancements for people who are transitioning to living in space, which is always a great idea and a great product. And I'm glad to see that they went back to that. And then they make the commercial, which is fucking hilarious. So much so you could go to Gundam Info and just see the commercial straight up. It's so good and bad at the same time. But the show is so charming. But then the bottom will fall out from time to time, and the malevolence that's kind of under the surface will show up. The one episode with number 4, which is one of the stand-ins for Elon, whatever the fuck his name is. We were just starting to warm up to him And then he loses the fight against Suletta, and then he gets terminated. Like, matter of fact, they fucking kill him. It's a heartbreaking moment because he finally, made a connection to his past, only to get completely just erased. And then they replace him with another guy who I guess we're going to see in the second half, the seductive one, who's trying to get into old Soletta's drawers. Well, we'll see how that works out. I'm sure it won't.
His problem was he let her sing "Happy Birthday" to him.
Yes,
Yeah,
he
you
did.
never do that.
That's a mistake. Shout out to Yazi.
Don't let her sing "Happy Birthday" to you.
Yo, shout out to Yazi who hit me up with the happy birthday from Witch From Mercury for my birthday. Fucked up, Yazi. You fucked up. But but yeah, the show will remind you from time to time that it can go there, and and then eventually it does full time in the final episode of the series when the terrorists from Earth, what do they call it, the Dawn of Fold, they attack that installation where Delling Rembrandt is in order to kill him, and of course we know about the jarring scene, which I guess upset a lot of people. But keep in mind, if you've been following the show,
that a girl was going to marry another girl. That the jarring scene you were talking about.
No, that's so much of that in the series already.
How dare you put your liberal left coastness on in Gundam?
I didn't think with the way that Suletta killed that one terrorist. The way she just smashed him like that. I didn't think that she would go to that degree, but they kind of foreshadow it throughout the whole series with visuals, with juxtaposition on screen. There's a moment where she bites into that tomato, and you take note of how red that shit is on her face. It almost looks like blood, and that's subtle. But then later on in the final episode, there's this moment where her mother is trying to talk her into standing up, and there's a threshold you can clearly see. And there's blood splatter between her mother and her. And she has to cross that threshold. And the way they frame the shot says everything. When she crosses that threshold, she goes into a kind of a whole new phase of her life, which is now she's going to end up having to kill in combat and all that stuff. And this guy ends up being her first sacrifice. And I want to commend the show on how it does structure its storyboards and the certain cinematic aspects of the show. They do a really good job of kind of foretelling character position and showing how when a character's small, they actually position. They use the rule of thirds, which they position characters in kind of a diminishing position on the screen when you realize they are on the back foot. This director who's working on this show is very good at conveying story without even having to say a word. And I love this show for it. It's one of the more cinematic Gundam series that I've seen in the last couple of years. So props on them. I hope the second half of the series is also going to take advantage of that too. I'm sure it will. They're working on it now. But yeah, overall, I was pretty satisfied with the show. We kind of got a morsel of what the story is about. If I was to have any complaints, it's really too early for me to really have too many complaints. I don't think we know a lot about some of the characters, but I think we'll learn more about them as the series goes along. But I like the cast so far. I would say the animation sometimes suffers in some areas, especially in the middle episodes. Some of the mecha fights are kind of choppy, but I know working on an animated series is tough. And
on episode 12,
yeah, episode 12 is pretty good. It's pretty damn good, but I would say some of the middle episodes, the animation's a little choppy in some of the fights. And outside of that, I still think the direction's top notch. And they work with what they can work with. And I bet the DVD version or the Blu-ray version is going to look better. They'll probably do some quality touches then too. So I'm looking forward to seeing a remastered version of this show once they get to that point. But I'll go ahead and pass it on to you guys. I enjoyed this first run of episodes, and I can't wait for the series to come back. Anybody know when the series is coming back? Is it April or later on this year?
Probably, I think. I don't know. I haven't actually checked.
We know it's April.
It's April? Gotcha. Yeah. Okay, I wasn't sure. But all right, cool. Well, back to you guys.
Well, before we go to Chris, I'll go with my 2 cents in there because I know Chris probably has a few things that he wants to say. But yeah, I'm with Solbro. I enjoyed this. Yeah, there are some parts to it, especially with the school stuff. it's the typical type of high school hijinks sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I think the flip of the Spacians being the ruling class as opposed to the Earthians is interesting. It's definitely a flip. The fact that, if you do leave Earth because it's a cesspool of like disease and, pollution and stuff up to a place that doesn't have it, you would think that they would get more powerful, and it does happen. The fact that the school is just basically a training ground for like all the Nepo babies of all these like these corporations is pretty interesting. The whole like corporate structure thing where it's almost like Champions League of like corporations.
Mm-hmm.
Like, like if you're good enough and you're successful enough, you'll be up in the Champions League. And like, I don't know, I think it was like what episode like 2 or 3 where they're talking about like they're like belittling the one guy's like, your numbers suck. You're getting reduced. You're getting out of the Beffert group, and it's like, what the hell? It's like, it's kind of interesting. So, but yeah, that's that's kind of that was pretty interesting. The whole situation when it comes to the whole thing with the corporations kind of ruling everything, that seems pretty accurate, and it seems kind of hitting to home.
Yeah, and
that they have so much power.
And being that this series dips so much into cyberpunk, that makes sense for the genre that they're cribbing from.
It's kind of going into
real life.
Dystopia is just our everyday life. That's not cyberpunk anymore, bro.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Get out of the 90s.
Yeah, pretty much. I think that's a big one. You get to see that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. It does do the bait and switch to you. You feel like it's not Gundam, and then like those last couple episodes, it's like, oh yeah, shit, this is a Gundam show. Like this is what I expect it to be. Mysteriousness of that. Lady Prosper. It is going to be nice to see what her whole like Char revenge plan is going to be, because we can see just by episode 12, I would think it's going to be very bloody, very violent, very hard hitting. So. But yeah, I think I think it's been it's a nice take, a different take of these alternate Gundam stories, and you can tell that it is Gundam for the 2020s. It does have social things in there that are much different than what we've seen before, even with the whole like high school stuff. It seems a little bit more mature. It's not as like, I don't know, like childish as we've seen in prior shows sometimes. So it does seem like it's something that's going to be different. So, but yeah, I mean, I think like anything, it had some highs, it had some lows. I think the highs were actually a little bit more than the lows. I mean, some of the pacing through the middle part is a little too much, but you can see that they're doing some type of world building there.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah. Other than that, I don't have much there. So, Chris, what do you think?
Well, I started watching the series proper. My first thought, and many other people watching the first episode, was, "Hey, this is Revolutionary Girl Lieutenant in space."
Yes.
And that's fine. That's totally fine. I'm down for that being the concept for Gundam series. And let me just say this. I said this before about other Gundam shows, and I'm sure I'll have to say it again. I'll have to tap the sign.
Mm-hmm.
Every Gundam show does not need to be the exact same thing of the space people versus the Earth people, and they have a big old war and lots of death and mayhem and yada yada.
Absolutely.
If a franchise just does the same thing over and over again, it gets kind of stale.
Yes.
Look at some of the Star Wars products in the Disney era.
Mm-hmm.
Just chasing nostalgia. got to do new things. You got to keep up with the audiences. You got to do things in different ways. We're talking about a franchise that has now been around for almost 45 years. Cannot keep things the same. And that means that things may get made that do not match your personal taste. That's fine. Franchises age, and so do you, the viewer, and you have to adjust accordingly. If a particular Gundam series is not doing the things that you like, you always have the option to A, stop watching it, B, accept that things are different and just enjoy it for what it is, C, go back and watch an old thing that you do like, because there's no lack of old Gundam out there to watch, regardless of what you like. So, that being said, the setting for this series is very different. You have all these duels, but if you look at it, these duels are really, at the end of the day, just demonstrators for all of these companies to show off their mobile suits and trade on those victories to try to earn profit. So you have these corporate CEOs using their nepo babies as almost cannon fodder. Obviously, they're not dying, but as cannon fodder for the sake of putting up their stock value and trying to get their value within the Banneret group to rise.
Right.
Because
and almost like power and prestige of. Yeah. It's almost like TMZ type of stuff. Like, oh my God, Guel lost another duel. It's like, it's
we saw that Daddy's Love came with a price, because Daddy certainly was not happy with Guel having 3 losses in a row.
Oh boy!
And pulled him out of school.
Yeah.
Well, he ran off to become Bob.
Pretty much, yeah.
These people have these high expectations of their kids, but they treat it's almost like their kids are just any other employees of the company, and not even like their own offspring. They're just there as a commodity to be used and to be tossed aside if they have no value, which speaks to the anti-capitalist leanings of this show in particular, especially with learning that Earthians are oppressed by Spacians, and we saw how the Spacians immediately did some union busting by sending down mobile suits Earth to quell the protests for better pay and labor conditions. So this is quite the corporate hellhole, because
funny how that creeps up. Better pay and better conditions, right? I mean, that's like the age old management versus employee thing, basically.
Yeah. I've brought this up before, but I'll note again that if you watch the exposition in this series, like when they show news broadcasts and whatnot, they don't talk about nations in this series. There's no Earth Federation. There's no United States. There's no anything. It's all Banneret group, and they even refer to quite Orwellian business administrative laws being invoked for the union busting and using mobile suits to break up protests. So this is a world that is thoroughly ruled by corporations, and all of these assholes in space have all the power over everybody else.
And I think in a lot of ways it's social commentary of like what could happen in our current structure now, because you see situations where these corporations, like you said, are more powerful than countries. And what happens when you start consolidating that power up and up? Well, you probably won't have countries anymore. You will have just these corporations. So,
there was a lot of flack the Western fandom about an interview posted on ANN where a Sunrise producer was talking about how for this series they went a different direction because the traditional Gundam war story has no relevance for kids of this era.
Yeah.
And a lot of these Western fans are mad about that, but it's like you expect them to
He's
do?
right.
They need to create something that's relevant to the audience, and mega corporations that have more power than actual elected governments is much more relatable
Mm-hmm.
to the average viewer now and a war story, unless of course you live in Ukraine, but
Yeah.
that's a different situation. Anyway, you got to keep with the times, and I don't doubt there will be some major conflict in second season, but it'll be, I think, the end game maybe rather than the starting point. So
Probably. Yeah.
it's a different it's a different path that takes you to the same destination. Some other things that occurred to me in season one. Think that Prospera is probably one of the best Char clones we've had in the entire franchise.
Boy, is she? I'll follow her to hell.
She is so manipulative.
Boy.
It's amazing how often taking off her mask and detaching her arm works to shut people up.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a great demonstration.
It's also like, one of the real high points of this series, but it is difficult to watch, is that Suletta is this very socially awkward, pure-hearted, wholesome character. I know a lot of people like jokingly or not jokingly call her a dumb tanuki.
Yeah.
She's just so pure. She has no idea she's being played so hard
By her mother.
And in a way, I talked about Gendo earlier, but you look at Gendo and Shinji, it's like, on the one hand, Gendo just has this total like apathy and maybe even like hatred of his own son.
Yeah.
He's not going to like extreme lengths to like play him, make it seem like he cares, which I feel is almost worse.
Right.
Because if you notice, one thing this show does quite consistently, that Prospera talks very coldly about Suletta, other people.
Yeah.
When she's talking to Suletta, she's very like lovey-dovey and understanding, and acts like a normal mother you would expect.
Right.
So it's interesting seeing her play those two sides, and especially that conversation when Suletta and Miorine visit her, and Miorine can see clear as day that Prospera is manipulating Suletta, and Suletta just totally buys it.
Right.
The look on Miorine's face is like, how are you buying this bullshit? Like, what do you believe? She's standing there with her arms out, and there's like lights shining behind her all angelically, and you don't think that that's creepy?
When she's walking back, that she lied to her about the Ariel not being a Gundam all this time.
And just like was like, tee-hee, it was a Gundam.
Yeah. I forgot to tell you that.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of people talking about the way she manipulates Suletta, and theories that like maybe she's brainwashed Suletta with the whole mantra of like run away, gain one, move forward, gain two. And I don't think it's anything that complicated. I think she just knows how to manipulate this poor, unassuming girl who is just desperate to be approved of and to feel useful, and she basically like eats this mantra into her psychologically as a way to like push her to do things and not think too hard about it, because that's exactly what happens in episode 12, because Suletta has the same reaction Miorine does a few minutes later, and she's like, Mom, you killed all these people.
Right.
And Prospera just sidesteps that completely with the old, I could have hid behind the door, but I fought them and saved you. So, she basically was like, you gotta crack a few eggs to make an omelet.
Well, which in the situation,
and Suletta took that to heart.
Yeah, she did. I mean, in this situation, it's understandable because she would have been killed. There's no doubt about that. They would have murdered her straight up. So it almost seemed akin to me the scene where Amuro is saved by Bright when the white base gets raided by Rumble Rawls man, and
Yeah.
Right just appears out of nowhere and blows that dude away in the head.
caps that dude right in the dome paste. Yeah, it's basically the same thing. And Amor's a little shocked at that, but he understands the situation and that his life was saved by Bright. So it seems I can understand it being shocking to Suletta because she's never seen death happen before her eyes like that. But at the same time, you know, it's also understandable. It's the shit that happens later. That is whew. That took my breath.
Might as well talk about that.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
You know, the post-credit scene at the end of the season finale. One of these terrorists is trying to kill Miorine and Delling, and then Suletta busts into the room with the aerial. Dude stupidly raises his gun again and like, oh no, I'm gonna score the kill. Then Suletta just smushes him like a tomato with the Gundam's hand, and there's just blood flying everywhere. And then she slips in the blood. It's completely covered, blood all over her pilot suit, and holds out a blood-soaked hand to Miorine. Is like, came to rescue you, Miss Miorine. Miorine's like doing the Gundam freak out, and it's like, how could you smile like that, you murderer?
Well, you forgot the part of before she gets out of the mobile suit. You know, the guy's severed hand that didn't get instantly pulverized, kind of hits Marine right by her face.
That's something.
Ooh.
So, you know, it is a level of violence that usually do not see in Gundam. You know,
No, not like that.
No, what was up there was Gundam Siege showing all those people getting microwaved like popcorn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty bad. That was pretty up there. It's definitely
it's way up there. Yeah.
And you know, it's interesting because it comes right after the two of them made up after having had a disagreement. So now this is obviously going to drive wedge between them, and I'm eager to see how that goes in season 2. Another thing about the finale that I thought was interesting was when you watch this raid, basically is the reversal of what we saw in the prologue.
Yes.
Because in the prologue, you had Spacians attacking a base and by Earthians. Here it's the opposite.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm curious about the fact that, you know, these two girls in Dawn of Fold, they're both using variants of the Gundam Lefrith from the prologue. So is Prosper pulling an Anaheim and playing both sides? And
that's what I was wondering too. I'm like, wait,
she's Palpatine.
Yeah.
She's Palpatine.
She's double dealing.
Oh
she
no,
might,
way.
She's
she
Anaheim.
might be.
Oh
yeah.
We also
I love her even more now.
the unresolved question of why is she working with Delling, who she obviously hates, wants revenge on, and what is this mysterious Quiet Zero thing that she refers to?
Oh, I know. Yeah.
There's also some other mysteries that have led to tons of speculation.
Oh yeah.
Internet. So, you know, we all assumed watching the prologue and then watching the first episode that Suletta is just Harry, but older and using a pseudonym.
Right.
Well, there's some issues with that because we find out in the TV show later, it's been 21 years since the Canidus incident.
Right.
And Eri was 4 years old at the time of that.
Yep.
In the series proper, Suletta is 17. So that
made me go to the internet when that was happening. I was like, wait a second, how is she 17? Like, she's got to be older.
Yeah.
So there's either they're lying about her age, or she's not Eri, or whatever. I don't know. Maybe she's a clone. Who knows?
I was thinking that
that is one of the that is one of the theories. Obviously, we don't know what the case is, so I don't want to subscribe too deeply to these theories. But one of them is that Suletta is a clone of Eri, and that Eri's brain runs the aerial and is the reason why it's sentient, and that she literally is part of its name because, you know, aerial.
And part of this theory that you have, I guess, comes from reading the prologue story, right? The one that they released in English out here as well.
So there is a prologue story that's told from the Ariel's perspective, which shows that the Ariel is sentient, and most tellingly, the Ariel is aware that Prospera is using Suletta as a tool of revenge, and it's very sad about that happening, but there's nothing that it can do about it.
Yeah. Damn.
So yes, the real story of Suletta, whatever it is, something that has yet to be told, and I'm sure will be one of the for season 2. Now, one thing I wanted to address that we mentioned at the start of the show, a lot of Western fans have been acting very dumb about this series.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I agree.
We need to have some words about this.
Please, by all means. I got my popcorn. Let's go.
We had a flood at the start of the show of all of these clowns here making fools of themselves, talking about how there's going to be all of these new fake fans showing up, and we need to gatekeep and keep them out of here, and they don't really know anything about Gundam, and they're just going to ruin everything. And
yeah, what was that all about? Like, I remember seeing that, and I just couldn't understand it, because I'm like, wait a second, this is the first show we've had in a couple of years, but we've had these, you're always going to have new fans. So I never really understood that.
Argument is, a bunch of weirdos are going to be attracted to this being the lesbian Gundam, and they're not real fans who are here for the mecha and gritty wars, and they're not part of the community, so we need to keep them out before they ruin things, which is just so nonsensical,
so dumb,
so stupid.
Which is probably funny, is because these
so tired.
The people that are saying that are probably like the fans that came around, like Seed and Double O and stuff like that. So it's
We're
like
all called posers and fakes and blah 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 because they didn't know about the real Universal Century, and they just watched Wing and Seed, and none of that is real Gundam. And it's like, are we just doomed to do this every 20 years?
Isn't that the reason why that there's even more Gundam coming around, because and there's such a thing in the Western world with Gundam now, because if it wasn't for people watching Seed and Wing and stuff like that, you wouldn't have this situation. Like, it's just such a stupid thing to me. It's like you wouldn't have Witch of Mercury without people that watch that other stuff. And I don't know, fans suck. I'll be honest with you, fandom sucks. I mean, we've said it before, but every one of you suck. You all suck.
Well, no one should ever listen to fans. Ever about anything, and it doesn't matter the fandom. Don't try to claim that there's any one fandom that's pure or good, because there's no such thing.
They're all bad.
Every fandom is awful. I've seen, especially after episode 11 and 12, but definitely after 12, a lot of now it's like a real Gundam show. You think you can handle the violence, baby? You think you can handle the
what was that all about?
Like, people are just being absolutely insufferable, and it's like
they're being like that douchebag that Greta Thunberg got arrested. That douchebag that got arrested for the sex trafficking. Yeah, he got they're all just being that douchebaggy way. Like, you can't handle this. This is all about the violence and the men and blah blah blah. And it's like it's like, what?
Just here for your gay stuff, and now there's war. You think you can? Are you tough enough to watch this?
Yeah, exactly. It's really what it was.
I'm sure they're the picture of rugged. Whoever the fuck is saying this, I'm sure they're lumberjack-looking motherfuckers, right? They gotta be. They talk tough, but they speaking small. I can't stand these cats, man.
Well, they have neck beards. I will probably say that.
That's not as close as they get, huh?
Yeah,
man.
Exactly.
Neck beards, but built like sumos. Listen, man, I can't give any of these cats any quarter, man. Why can't a show be different, right? Why can't it not be different? There's been, as Chris said, there's been 40 plus years of Gundam. They have to come out the pocket with something fresh. And this show does that. It actually does that, dude.
They need new fans. Like, the original Gundam fans are like in their 50s and 60s and 70s. They're dying.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, let's look at this. If you're when original Mobile Suit Gundam came out, which is what, 42 years ago, and if somebody was 18, let's just say they're graduating college, I mean, they are what, 60 now? I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
42 plus 18 is what, 60?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So
man.
they're 60 years old. How much longer can you keep doing rinse and repeat of the 1-year war before that guy is dead?
Well,
I mean-
we were here. We're here at this point 15 years ago.
Yeah.
The 00 syndrome, as I call
Yeah.
it, where
Oh yeah.
everybody was whining that season 1 was too political. It was too slowly paced. It was too different. It wasn't Gundam.
Mhm.
Blah blah blah.
Well,
And then
remember,
a year later, season 2 comes along, and they're like, it's just a ripoff of Zeta, and it's not new and fresh and original like season 1 was.
Well, remember how stupid it was with 00? There were people so pissed off that it was in our calendar, the AD calendar. There was a point when they were like, yeah, it's going to be in the AD calendar. They're not going to create their own separate alternate calendar for this. And people were like fucking pissed. Like you thought they ran over their dog and shit on their grandmother. It was like they were just, it's like, what can you do? I mean, you have to adapt. Things change. And I think that's the good thing with this. I agree with the guy from Sunrise saying the old Gundam War story doesn't work now. Because guess what? Like Chris said, outside of Ukraine, the Gundam War story does not work. Because the story that works is mega corporations and very powerful people consolidating and controlling things just because they have wealth and power.
And
that's it.
And the franchise was...
And that's what we're seeing in this.
And the franchise was made in the midst of the Cold War. Oh, well, we're back in the Cold War now, but still, corporations are manipulate more things now than they ever did, and I can understand making them more so the antagonists of this series than going the traditional tried and true route. So, I don't know what they want. They want the same old formula every time. That's their business, but that's not good business when it comes down to
it.
Well,
but the other problem,
even if you look at just Japan, the original Gundam. Other early mecha shows, real robot shows like Dougram, Votoms, all these shows made by people like Tamino and Takahashi.
Mm-hmm.
These are people who grew up in the post-war devastation of World War II in Japan. That experience is so far removed.
It's gone. Yeah.
Young Japanese people these days as to just be completely foreign.
Right.
The World War II era and the experiences of that, so many of us even is like entertainment. It's Saving Private Ryan. It's Call of Duty. It's not a thing that any of us lived through the during of it or the aftermath. So we can't relate to what those people went through and what they experienced.
Exactly.
So if you're doing that kind of story in 2023, it's not going to really relate to any kind of audience except that niche of like military otaku.
Yeah.
Because
that's not enough to sustain a franchise.
Because what have people seen in the last 30 and 40 years is corporations destroying people, destroying countries, sitting there getting away with things, and that's what they're showing in this. Because the war is hell thing doesn't make sense anymore because the creators and the writers of these stories now can't relate to that. But they can relate to the financial crisis of 2008. They can relate to, all the corruption, especially in Japan when it comes to corporations. I mean, people think that United States corporations are freaking corrupt. Read a little about Japanese corporations. They're hella freaking corrupt. And I mean, so much so it's not even funny. So yeah, you got to get past it. But the response on this is just the response that you're having in the whole societal dialogue that we're seeing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Part of it is, and I knew a lot of it was coming from the fact that you had something that we had talked about, I think probably since the beginning of Gundam, was a female protagonist, a true female protagonist.
Yes.
Like it's about a female.
Exactly.
And now you have the aspect of the weird thing with the, you win the duel, you get the be able to marry Marine, and Soletta won, so they're going through it like, you're the bride, I'm the groom, and all this. And for these guys, for men, a lot of men, because there is a societal shift. The United States is over 51% female. Most of the world is over 50% female. Female women are smart, as qualified, and especially in places like the United States where the college system actually works for the way that women learn. That's why you're seeing them more successful. And now you're seeing, and it also comes down to just the same old thing of like, since you have more women and not as many men, the women can pick and choose. So what do these guys that get not chosen? They get pissed and they lash out, and they lash out at stuff like this. So this is just a thing that's beyond Gundam. It's just a societal, because we are in a societal shift. We are
Not only
in
that, but some
how
of
it
the more
works.
recent UC productions have incorporated some of these same elements that Witch from Mercury is putting at the forefront. Unicorn had the good old scheming of Anaheim playing both sides as usual.
Yep.
All of the maneuverings of the Vist Foundation trying to also play both sides. Hathaway had that theme showing all of the elites on Earth prospering from the labor of illegal immigrants on Earth. So all of these anti-capitalist themes, they have always been present in Gundam, because we've always seen the corruption of business and the state working together, even all the way back Zeta. So these are not new themes Gundam to be exploring, but what Witch from Mercury is doing differently is it's putting that the forefront rather than just being background material during a war.
Yeah, it's not the war of independence. It's not one side wants, because you really don't even see this in Witch from Mercury. The Earthians hate the Spacians, but they're not trying to break away from them. It's just they're subjugated to these people. They're treated like crap, and we see that within the school. We see that with the Gundam. All those kids. Most of them are from Earth. So you're right. That theme has always been there. I mean, Tamino had Anaheim in Zeta. Zeta was double dealing. So it was war profiteering and doing. So that's the same thing that these guys are probably, So it's ridiculous, and it's the thing that really starts making you get to the point of, what it is. Fandom is toxic. It doesn't matter what type of fandom it is, anime, sports, whatever it is. These people need to understand that when you're a fan of something, I get it, it's entertainment. But Jesus Christ, man, if you don't like Witch from Mercury, you don't have to watch it.
Just watch something else when it comes down to
Yeah,
it. It'll be a shame.
Go back and watch First Gundam.
Yeah.
I know First Gundam is the best.
Go relive the magic. Go relive the magic.
Or whatever it is. Yeah, just relive the magic. I mean, it's like this argument that people have of like music. I get it. When you're the most impressionable part of when you like listen to music is like what, your high school and college years, because that's when you're formulating stuff, you identify things. But these people are like, I'll never listen to it. There's been no good music since 2005. It's like, what? Are you fucking kidding me? I mean,
that's a foolish
I'm not saying it's such a freaking ridiculous, and it's the same thing here. And the other thing too is because of social media, we just have to sit there and go, unfortunately, that gives a voice to the idiots. And when you give a voice to idiots and stupid people, this is the stuff that you get, because all they want is they want us to lash out and say, oh no, you're wrong, because honestly nobody's going to listen to them other than that, because they're just
years ago someone posted 6 stages of a toxic fandom. I mean, this doesn't apply to every single fandom you've ever been in your life.
Right.
Stage 1, I love this. Stage 2, I own this. Stage 3, I control this. Stage 4, I can't control this. Stage 5, I hate this. Stage 6, I must destroy this.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that sounds about right.
And and I think we're going from 5 to 6 at this point with a lot of this stuff. Yeah.
I wanted to.
I mean,
You know, there's a lot of people. Look, every time there's a new Gundam show, there's always a certain subset of people who are rooting for it to fail, and
Sure.
that's especially true with this series. And people just spreading all sorts of rumors and just, you know, usual thing that every fandom engages in of, I personally don't like this, therefore it's a bomb. And it's like, what's your data for this? What are you based? What's your ratings
Right.
data? What's your streaming data? Oh, it just is. Oh, because you say so. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Whack ass.
So there's always people who are just rooting for something to fail, especially now in this era. We are afflicted with all of these YouTube grifters.
Oh boy.
Who,
Yeah.
You know, are just saying all this outrageous, toxic stuff. Not even necessarily because they believe it, but because they know it'll get them views.
Oh yeah,
and
it's
ad
profitable
revenue.
as hell. Yeah, I see legit
Clickbait.
reviewers online talking about these cats and how their opinions and their video views are 10 times what there are, but they focus on a negative narrative for everything they review instead of giving kind of an actual in-depth analysis of what they're reviewing and being fair-handed. It's a shame, and the algorithm rewards it too. So there's not much.
And even though they're just in it for the money,
yeah,
it makes the discourse and the experience that we all have worse.
It poisons the waters, straight up.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
I did want to go.
And it's ridiculous because you're being entertained, and if you know, I see this in sports fandom a lot. You know, people go you go to a sporting event to entertain, but then they feel because they paid the price of admission that they can be an asshole. And you know, I will say this: I support any athlete that will sit there and if they get something thrown at them or are punched out or something like that, I have no qualms when the athlete beats the crap out of them.
Oh yeah, when they go into the stands, that's the best.
Yeah. Like there's something that happened, I think, earlier this year with a Rams game. I think Bobby Wagner beat the crap out of somebody. I mean, the most famous one is the Malice at the Palace in the NBA when Ron Artest.
Oh boy,
Ron Artest had a beer thrown on him.
Oh,
and then people are sitting. Yeah, he fucked both those guys up.
Yeah,
and people and these people have the audacity. I mean, there is one of these ESPN 30 for 30s where they talk to these dudes and they think they were wronged. It's like, what? Like, just because you pay the price of admission for something, if you don't like it, that's fine. But that doesn't mean that you have to sit there and be an asshole about it. And it definitely doesn't mean that I have to sit there and listen to you.
Take abuse.
I don't have to listen to you on this.
That ain't in the script.
Yeah. And once again, you're in a free fucking country right now.
Yeah.
If you're in the United States and you're complaining about this and you have a problem with Witch From Mercury, you don't have to watch it.
Yeah.
Just stop.
Just pass.
Just stop.
I did
stop.
I did want to.
And this idea of hate watching. Hate watching is this most stupidest thing that I've ever heard of. I mean, it's like, okay, I get it, you know, and sometimes we do get too far along into something that goes south, and we want to watch it, but there, you know, there's people that their whole thing is, and I've seen the YouTube videos on that. It's like, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to hate watch this thing. Like, they already said they're going to hate this, so I'm already knowing that I'm going to hate it. So because I'm a grifter and because I want to get my Patreon supported or whatever the hell else it is.
Right.
And in the end, you're not helping the Gundam franchise. And then all these losers are sitting there saying, oh, you know, I want to keep the Gundam franchise pure. That was that whole gatekeeping thing. No, actually, you're the problem. Like, I'd rather have the naive person that doesn't know about Universal Century and only knows about Gundam, that's open-minded to watch about it, than some fucking loser that's all about the Universal Century and thinks that anything that hasn't been done, you know, everything since Victory Gundam is a piece of shit. You know, it's like, come on.
Damn.
No, it's annoying, man. It's absolutely. I mean, I see these things on Twitter, and it's just like, man, it's like, damn, dude. You know, come on. Isn't there shit more important in life than worrying about stupid crap like this?
And some people, there isn't. They have nothing much else to do. But I wanted to go back to the the focus for a second. That you guys brought up the female protagonist, and I don't think a lot of people realize. Maybe a lot of the Gundam viewership realize that there's actually a lot of women that actually watch Gundam, and they also buy Gundam model kits. That whole aspect of the fandom has grown by leaps and bounds. There's a lot of influencers on Twitter and on YouTube who are women who actually are in the Gundam scene, and I am sure this show is going to work leaps and bounds for quite a bit of them, as well as get new fans into the fandom.
Well, here's the thing about that as a minor correction. We'll talk about this more in the next episode.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
There are always significant levels of women in Gundam fandom.
Yes.
But a lot of them just got pushed out by male fans trying to make this space for themselves only. And the same thing happened in the 60s and 70s Star Trek. There were tons of female fans at the start of this show, and then they got pushed aside by all of these dudes brute forcing their way in and making it a boys only club. So
exactly.
And you're seeing that stuff with the Marvel universe right now too.
Yeah.
I live with somebody that she likes the Marvel universe, but you know what she's really liked lately because it's appealed to her more. She liked Hawkeye because it had a female protagonist. She liked Scarlet Witch, female protagonist.
She-Hulk.
She loved She-Hulk.
Oh yeah,
because it's a female protagonist.
Got him.
Because why? Because they could finally identify with somebody that looked like them that was in the forefront.
And that's at the core of it, because a lot of people
men have to understand that is what is going on.
But a lot of people have to see themselves.
You are not the majority anymore.
Exactly. A lot of people believe they have to see themselves in the protagonist in order to like the show. And I've grown up watching television my whole life. And I rarely see anybody who's like me, who's the lead of a series, who's making like major decisions.
Yeah, and
I see people like me as comic relief, as bit players that don't get to really do much, but it's never quelled my enjoyment of a series ever. I have a flexibility when I watch something that I know is not made for me, that I could still go into and watch it regardless. I liked She-Hulk. It wasn't made for me. I liked Miss Marvel. It wasn't made for me. But you can do that.
Yeah. And I think that's the core of it, because guess what? Most of those people that are shitting on this stuff, they look like me, a white man. And these white men are sitting there going,
damn you, Neil.
I don't like this because in the past it used to be just a white guy in there. Now it's this Hispanic girl, it's this Chinese guy, it's this, Middle Eastern guy and stuff like that. Well, guess what? That's fucking America.
Yeah.
And I don't.
What these guys are literally doing is the 36 Christmas presents, but last year I had 37.
Pretty much, yeah.
Right.
When
Exactly.
you were used to literally every single thing being made explicitly for you, changing that by even the smallest percentage seems like oppression. Whereas for you, Soul Bro, you're not fazed by watching something with someone who doesn't look like you, because you've had to adapt to that your entire life.
You were forced to adapt. It's
always been that way for you. You were forced
you didn't
to
have
accept
to.
that.
Exactly.
Yeah, you were forced to do that. And that's the thing. You're a kid. You never saw a black guy out or a black woman outside of comic relief. And, so you were conditioned, because after a certain point, you get conditioned and stuff, no matter what. That's just how psychologically stuff works.
Strangely enough, there are two things I saw as a youth that did defy stereotype. One of them was her in Star Trek. The other one was Claudia LaSalle and Macross.
But they were never major players. I get that. Yeah. I get that, but Uhura was not the first officer.
No,
the triumvirate of the triad of Star Trek, the initial series is, it's three white men. Even though one of them is an alien, he's still a white man. The triad of Macross is still. I mean, Macross was a little bit different because Captain Global was, he was a minority, but most of that stuff you were forced to adapt to it. Now all these white motherfuckers need to get forced to this. That hey, guess what? There's more than just white men ruling the world, and that's really what it is. And I'm saying this as a white man. I mean, I'm with somebody that's an aerospace engineer and has to sit here and sometimes gets probably more qualified and probably on an intelligence level more than the people she works with, but because she's a woman and one of the only women, it's minimized.
Yeah,
So I understand how that works,
that's
and
frustrating. As fuck.
I can never relate to it because I don't have that thing.
Yeah.
But that's what's going on here. So it is societal.
So shout out to Osmark in the chat. He says this show is the first Gundam that my girlfriend and I watched together. She really liked it. Yo, that's what's up. Yo, there you go.
And that's what it should be.
Good game.
Yeah, that's what it should be. Because I would take Miriam to these Marvel the Marvel movies, and she liked them because she likes that stuff.
Yeah.
But what did she really like? What was it really like on Friday nights when especially during COVID? It's like, hey, is the Scarlet Witch on? Is this on? Like she really likes. I had to tell her that Hawkeye they're not renewing it because she really liked that. But and I liked it, but she identifies with it more because she's
And
a
all
woman.
these clowns are out there screaming about the MCU. just the most pathetic insult ever, and it's like, man, that's the best that you can come up with. Just go home. Just call it a day.
Because
take the day off. Just go home. Just rethink your life. You need to work on better material.
Man.
Because all they want the woman to be is they want Scarlet, or they want Black Widow in the tight cat suit with the zipper down the chest, and even she's saying, yeah, I feel like I got fetishized on this, and I didn't even realize that it was happening to me because, hey, I wanted to be an actress, so I just took the parts that I was gonna take. But now people are like, why can't a woman be a superhero? Why can't they be an engineer or the president or whatever it might be? It doesn't have to be that way.
Well, it's definitely good to see that Sunrise, who we never thought would ever take a chance on this, is actually doing this, and the second half of this series, I hope is gonna blow minds, man. There were three things that I swung at the fences on, that two of the things actually happened. Number one, this show had a female lead, which is fantastic. Number two, they shook up the formula. Number three, that this would be like some fantasy series, which fucking did not happen. No Maho Shoujo. Shout outs to Enron. Enron did make a very good point, and I thought of this as well because I love Shakespeare. Ariel is also the name of the fairy that Prospero had enslaved due to his bidding in the Tempest. It wouldn't surprise me if those names were picked on purpose, because there's Prospera, who gave herself that name, the Gundam Ariel, and if that theory is correct, that the real Soletta's brain is inside the Ariel, oh my god, that is some dark shit, man. I'm on pins and needles waiting to find out the big reveal, man, and we'll know it in a few months, apparently.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time that Shakespeare is redone in something. I mean,
oh no, not at all.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's the classic tragedies of these things. So,
man.
But Chris, anything else on your straight talk?
Nah, I think it's all about out of gas at this point.
Oh man, damn. Well, we'll take it back to the shop and
get the new tires, new fluids, stuff like that. We got to keep that baby going, right?
Oh,
right, Chris? I'm sure it'll have to come back out for the end of season 2, or the end of season 1, part 2 of season 1, or part 2 of season 1.
Oh, yo, Yazi's asking about Sobro's man. He nominates Oyello, which I actually like that cat, man. The gambler, young gambler. When I see him, he reminds me a little bit of a Freeman from the Boondocks. Hell, that one guy that's in charge of what's that company? The corporation. I forget the name of it. It's not Grassley, but
Grassley Industries.
I believe it's Grassley Industries. The black brother in the wheelchair. He reminds me of Granddad from the Boondocks. Every time I see him,
we gotta maintain some controls here. Mm-hmm. If Sobro likes the person,
yes,
that's an automatic disqualification.
Fuck. Yeah, exactly. I should have kept my mouth shut.
Solbro's man
Uh-oh.
is that student from the first episode who doesn't even have a face, who got whooped by Guel like in a
Oh
second.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
what? I can't have a named character like Martin. Martin is probably not long for this world, by the way. He saw was it Nika?
Nisha.
Yeah, but
Send
that's
him
the
Morse
thing,
code?
though.
Oh, he might get
Sol-
shot.
Silver's man's not going to have a. They don't have the stain of death on them. Silver's man always ends up eking it out. Like,
That's true.
I mean that's the thing about the Silver's man.
Yo,
It's like
Rob says it's Bob.
Silver's men are kind of related to cockroaches. They always survive somehow. You know.
I guess Soulbros Man has yet to emerge. Bob is a good candidate, man.
He's there.
No,
He's
Bob
lurking.
Bob is
he's
Bob
lurking.
Bob is the loser villain of like, you know, I mean,
I'll never call him Ghoul. He's Bob to me, from here to eternity. Every time I say, yo, that's Bob. You're my man.
even though they really did him wrong as a loser villain, like,
they fucked him up.
Like,
it was
that
brilliant
was shocking
too.
to me.
It was brilliant.
Because at first I'm like, wait, wasn't his dad in one of those? It's like,
Yes.
oh shit, he was. Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
I was like, man, as soon as he got in the suit, it's like, oh, he's gonna kill his pops. It's gonna happen. You can see it. You can see the writing in the wall because it's Gundam. You can see it. And then when they were fighting, it's like, just get close enough to touch him, please. Don't kill him. Just get close enough to touch him so you can make that contact. So you can tell him who you are. So you can calm the fuck down. Oh no, that motherfucker got ran through so fast. Good shit. But yeah, I if I had to nominate, which I don't get to, it'd be Bob. But that's me. But nice try, Yazi. Nice try. I actually like that cat. I don't think he should be Sobros, man.
No, I think at this point you're right, Chris. It's that guy at the beginning, the guy that
The faceless, nameless dude. Good shit.
nameless.
That's how
nameless.
Solbros man he is.
Boo.
When he has a name, he doesn't even get to have a face.
God damn.
Yeah,
That is the depth of.
that's the definition of a Soul Bros man.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
Named character, yet you don't even know what the hell they look like.
Yo.
So
Oh, the dude that was in the pilot. I'm sorry, the prologue. Who's the sleek looking ace turns into Fats Goodman. Yo, shout out to Yazi from Ace Pilot to Fats Goodman. What was his name? I'm looking it up now. It was
Anji.
Yeah, there you go. That guy. When he showed up again, I couldn't stop laughing. Oh man.
all right,
Good day.
you guys ready? You ready for some ratings?
Yeah, man. Ready.
So Soul Bro,
man.
since we're having all the fun at your expense,
Man.
what is your rating for the first part of season 1 of Mobile Suit Gundam: The Witch from Mercury Woke Edition?
Well, I'm gonna give this.
Now, did you guys have to use a VPN since both of you live in Florida, because that is the free state of Florida and it's free of wokeness? Did you have to use a VPN to watch this when you watch?
Well, I mean,
Because does your internet have woke filters?
the legitimate way is to watch on Crunchyroll.
I just got on the dark web and went to Gundam.woke.
Yeah,
Because I thought the Dallas cheerleader or governor that you have with those white boots, I thought he said nothing woke comes into Florida, and I'm the sheriff, and that's gonna. So I was just wondering.
Terrible. There's
a way.
The legitimate way to watch this is on Crunchyroll, but if you got a VPN,
the world is your oyster.
You might want to go to the Philippines.
So, bro, you
go
gotta
to YouTube.
You gotta update your information. So, bro.
Word? What's up?
We didn't mention this in the news, but they've opened up streaming on a delay.
Oh yes,
in North America on YouTube.
I saw that episode 3 just got posted.
Airing the episodes over there weekly, so you're not going to be caught up right away. But if you want to watch it for free without hoisting the flag, that's the way to do it.
There you go.
Yeah.
So if you're not caught up on it and you want to check it out, that's where you can go to Gundam Info on YouTube. And episode 3 is the latest episode that's up.
Because it's on Crunchyroll Premium, right?
Yes.
Like, you can't even do it on the free Crunchyroll.
It is on Premium. So, but either way, man, check it out. But as for my rating, I would give this 4 out of 5 on the tomatometer.
Soul Bro.
Yes.
I got another nominee for you for Soul Bros Man. This
Hit me.
This is a non-traditional one.
Go ahead.
The couch that Cecilia always sits on because it is useless, it has no function, and it just is just there to be used by her.
Wait. Cecilia, is that the girl with the white hair that
Yes.
Okay.
That just
I know.
always sits and complains and never does anything.
I know, right? I was like, what do you do here? What do you do here?
She complains. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
it's like, man.
you need kind of that complaining person. I mean,
Face that launched 1,000 fan arts.
No, wow. That I didn't know. I'm afraid.
Spoiler, they all have huge boobs.
I'm afraid to look. Underage, of course, man. God, internet. But that's my rating. 4 out of 5. I quite enjoyed this. It was definitely compelling to me. I like the cast. I think it's fun. It can get violent. It's probably going to get more violent. And they are doing things to change the status quo. So I appreciate the effort. I certainly hope it's a hit in Japan. I don't know if you guys know how it's progressing in Japan, but I hope it's a big hit over there, and I hope we get more refresh takes on the Gundam mythos moving forward. So that's my overview. No.
Well, I'm gonna have to say I'm going to give it 4 Heinz ketchups with no salt, no sugar added out of 5. So I'm doing the healthy option, the no sugar added ketchup.
There you go, man. Think about the future.
So, Chris, what do you think? 0?
The no sugar added, all bones removed ketchup.
All bones.
Oh yeah. We'll actually use those bones for bone marrow soup. So yeah.
Definitely no hands.
Exactly.
Get that out of here.
You know.
It gives a new thing too. Like there's lips and ass in this, right? You know.
I don't post review averages anymore on the news site, but out of curiosity, I went and did an average for season 1. So I'm gonna give it a I'm gonna give this one a non-standard. So the number I got, not including the prologue, is 3.79 Suleta Forgetta out of 5.
There you go. Yeah.
Hey, good stuff.
Oh. Well, it sounds like we liked it. I mean, even though we were told we're not supposed to like it.
I know, right?
And we're actually, you know what, Chris? I'm very disappointed in you. You should be the ultimate Gundam gatekeeper. Why were you not gatekeeping the way that gatekeeping should have been done?
Woke trash.
Woke trash. Oh
not real Gundam.
Oh,
just the woke now.
Because the world doesn't have a bunch of different people with different beliefs and backgrounds and stuff like that. It's just all mine. Oh.
I forgot to point out, because the chat's been saying it for a while now, a 4 out of 5 Choo haymakers out of 5. Yo, Choo did lay down the law though when she punched those girls, but she knocked that girl. She took a moment to rear back and then clocked that woman with all the weight in her body. That shit was great.
And the most hilarious part is that as the rest of that scene plays out, that girl never gets up. She got just knocked out cold.
She got twisted.
Yeah. she got knocked the fuck out.
She got duffed.
Like the dude on Friday over the freaking bike.
Meme edit that just photoshops Kazuki onto the steps, just shooting her with added blood.
Oh shit!
Nice.
Kazuki. With the assist.
Yes.
Nice. You got knocked the fuck out, yo Yazi. Someone should do an edit.
Right.
Someone should do an edit with that shit.
Oh,
I'm sure it's been done. I'm sure it's been done.
Have you all seen the aerial rhythm game?
No,
not at all.
Someone did a little animation of like aerial like slapping all of these terrorists set to the music of the first opening. So it's like they added, someone else added like graphics to that, like if it was a rhythm game of like you're slapping the dudes on time and,
Oh,
and
that's
on
awesome.
beat.
Wow.
See, that is when the internet's a force of good. That's stuff that I approve. So
That's so messed up. Way to go, internet. Good shit.
Yeah. For once, you're doing God's work.
For once.
But guys, anything before we get to Soul Bro and how to contact us? Chris, any updates about MAHQ?
You know, in a measure of how far we've come, the site is up to 8,300 pages now on the new version.
Whoa.
That's insane. That's so awesome. Man.
It
You
looks
get
good.
close to the end of the tunnel, man. Good shit.
I gotta say, it
Still
looks
a
good on the
couple
mobile
hundred to go.
device. And it does look good on the mobile device. Like I had to get a
That
new
was
phone.
the whole point.
Yep.
Yeah, I had to get a new phone, and it looks really good on the iPhone 14.
With the
And
changes,
I-
have you seen a lot of new traffic to the site now that it can be viewed through a smartphone simply?
So the issue is, in terms of traffic, old site is still up, so that has impacted our search rankings because they end up ranking side by side.
Oh, jeez.
So really just got to get the conversion done, kill the old site, and then wait for everything to be re-indexed in
balance
the search
out.
engines, and then
Yeah.
see from there how it goes.
Right
Yeah,
on.
you're not getting a true number now. So
Yeah, so we won't have the true number until the old site's completely killed, and we're trying to set up some redirects to ease the pain, because obviously there's so many websites out there that link to the old version, and that is a Herculean task that Dale is fully in charge of, and I will not touch in the slightest.
yeah, I don't blame you.
Well, shout outs to
That-
Dale.
That's definitely the one. It's like, what do you want to do? Do you want to do the page conversion, or try to do the redirects to all the websites that we're currently linked to? I think I'll do the page conversion. That's you chose wisely, Chris. So, bro, you want to let these folks know how they can get a hold of us?
Yeah,
And don't forget our Mastodon, man.
And Mastodon. Well, you'll have to hit me with the Mastodon links. I don't know them offhand unless it's mastodon.com/MAHQ DOTNDT or what are the links?
It is
Not even
Gundam.
slightly.
All right,
No, it's not even slightly.
Well,
it is
go
at Gundam
Okay.
at mastodon.social.
Okay. At Gundam at Mastodon. You know what? Neil just said it, and I will make sure to add it
I'll
to
put it in
the
the chat.
information on the screen as well. All I know is that you should definitely visit mahq.net. That's where all the magic happens. You'll find a lot of the links we talked about right there on that website. That's the Mecha and Anime headquarters. Chris, as he mentioned, has been going through a conversion project for the site in order to make it, to modernize it and allow people to see it on mobile devices as well, because beforehand it was a bit of a chore to look at it on any mobile devices, but those days are soon to be over, and a great majority of the website has been revised. So definitely go there, add it to your favorites, and check it on a regular basis, especially with all the great reviews and articles that are being posted there. Yazi's in the chat. He's been contributing to the site as of lately too. Shout outs to Yazi. You can check out the reviews that Chris did for Witch From Mercury as well on the website, and it's a great place to go and a great resource for mecha anime in general. Make sure to also visit mechatalk.net. That's the official forums of MAHQ as well. And if you go there, you can register and join the conversation. Find us on Facebook at MAHQ1. That's our group over there. Also on Twitter at MAHQDOTNET and Gundam at MAHQ. Don't know how long they're going to last because, Twitter's been fucking up. So enjoy it while you can. Find us over here on youtube.com/GundamMAHQ. We stream on average twice a month, usually every other Thursday. So you guys can subscribe to the YouTube channel and be alerted. Hit that bell so you can be alerted when new episodes are about to go live. Also, twitch.tv/FightersReady is our backup stream. You can also find our archive episodes there too. So you're more than welcome to do that, and thank you so
Oh,
much.
how's the episodes coming?
Episodes aren't coming at all. I dealt with some family problems during my I could get into it, but I'm not going to get into it right now. But
you don't need to.
It sucked. I'm glad I had the time off though, because I got a lot of fucking personal shit done. Thank God.
So it's a normal holiday. So
yeah, it was
that stuff happened with the family.
I can tell you, there's a feud in my family that is going on right now that sounds like it's straight out of a out of a soap opera. It's ridiculous. But I will say this, and this is something I like to start doing. I like to recommend music to people, and if you have the time to check it out, by all means. A lot of people know me as being an avid listener to all sorts of music. So if you guys have the time, you can definitely check out Time Machine. It's a hip-hop group from the late 90s and throughout the 2000s. They used to come up with an album every almost decade. And they have 3 albums. One of them is Slow Your Roll, which is their oldest album. The second album is Life is Expensive. And the most recent album came out in 2018, and it's called The Test of Time. All excellent albums, great production, a lot of great lyrics on there, man. Please check them out, and let me know what you think. Time Machine is my recommendation, and if you guys have any recommendations, hit me with them, and I'll be glad to check those out too. And thank you very much. Other than that, I'm gonna toss it back to you guys, man.
Chris, anything before we go?
Be sure to check out our friends at Mechanista NG.
Yes.
They've doing more Gundam topics as always, but also recently branched out and did the Huckbind from Super Robot Wars and talked about every single variation, including even the loved/hated X-binds from the anime. So go check that out for yourself and see what they've been up to.
Awesome. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight for the first episode of 2023. We'll be back in a few weeks with episode 268 of Gundam and MAHQ. See you then.
Do you think Earth has the greatest culture? Bullshit. Stop thinking you know anything about culture. You don't even know the meaning.
Breakdown, baby.
See, I've lived in Metropolis most of my life, and I can't figure out how some yokel from Smallville is suddenly getting every hot story in town.
Well, Lois, the truth is I'm actually Superman in disguise, and I only pretend to be a journalist in order to hear about disasters as they happen and then squeeze you out of the byline.
You're a sick man, Kent.
You asked.